Cruise news time. And well, it's one of those days. One of those days where Carnival Cruise Line has broken the hearts of some of their cruisers, but it's not all bad. There's a great Carnival Cruise news story out about one of my favorite cruise directors and Port Canaveral. They've broken another record. Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Cruise news. Cruise news. Cruise news. Here's Tony. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lira Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for this area. It's for your face on Friday, the 10th of November, 2023. And it's going to be a roller coaster ride today. You know what cruise line has a roller coaster on top of their cruise ships? Carnival Cruise Line. And you know what they've done? They've broken the hearts of some of their passengers. I have two heartbreaking Carnival stories. I'll share one now and one at the end. And the one at the end has its own Veruca Salt type moment. The one in the beginning is, it's not super surprising, but we have the cancellation of the next 4 cruises on a ship that's having propulsion issues in the Carnival Vista class. That's right, Carnival Panorama, been limping its way around its itineraries on the West Coast. And finally, the decision makers over at Carnival said, well, we got to fix this. This ain't working out. Unfortunately, they've made this decision just a couple days before the next cruise. So you got some people getting some emails yesterday going, what is happening here? Carnival Panorama canceling their sailings on the 11th, the 18th, the 26th, and the 2nd of December. They're trying to do people right, though, since there's such short notice on these cancellations. For these first 2 cruises on the 11th and the 18th, they're giving a 100% refund of the cruise fare, however it was paid. And they're also giving those passengers a 100% future cruise credit. So it's like you're getting double money. And then people that had a little more notice, the ones that are happening at the end of the month and into next month, they're getting the 100% refund, but they're also getting a 50% future cruise credit. They're going to put the Panorama right in dry dock and see if they can figure out what's going on with the propulsion issues and try to get it up and running so that it can do its full itineraries. It's a tough situation, right? If you keep missing ports on itineraries because of propulsion issues, that causes one set of issues. And then, of course, canceling cruises, that means they're going to have 4 full weeks of non-revenue on the Panorama. That's going to be a little bit of a hit. But yeah, these are big machines and sometimes they break down. And I don't know if this whole Vista class has kind of got like some sort of lemon in the propulsion system. It'll be wild if it's just like 1 or 2 components, but it seemingly all of those cruise ships have had their time in the sun when it comes to struggling with propulsion. Hopefully they get it fixed. It's really one of my favorite classes of Carnival cruise ships, but yeah. There was a cruise that was supposed to start tomorrow that has been cancellated. I'll throw that question over to you. Are you impacted by this? Are you a West Coast Carnival Panorama cruiser? How you feeling today? We commiserate with you. It's not fun getting canceled. But yeah, there you go. Heartbreak. Cruise news story number 2, also a Carnival cruise news story. This time we're going to talk about one of Carnival's most popular cruise directors, Chris Williams. You may know him as the Flying Scotsman. Very entertaining guy. He has his own vocal show on his cruises. Chris is from Scotland. He wears a kilt. He has what I feel like is a cool accent, and he turned me on to one of my favorite songs from my ancestry. Do you know this one? You take the high road and I'll take the low, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye, for me and my true love will never meet again on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Interestingly, I was vaguely familiar with that song, but in a series of events, I found out that I was mostly Scottish, and then I cruised with Chris, and he sang that song, and it moved me greatly. Thank you, Chris, for turning me on to that ludicrous classic. Shout out Luda. And he kind of got me at my own game the other day. I was watching his video where I've got an update, and he comes on all somber, and he says, you know, I've been with Carnival for many years, and well, I'm no longer going to be a cruise director. Dun, 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 dun. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful, well played. The news is he got promoted to like a cruise director overseer, an overlord of the cruise directors. He is being elevated to the same role as Mike Pack and Donkey. Chris Salazar, I think's his name. I like all three of those cruise directors. Actually, they're kind of like the overlords of they fill in when there's other cruise directors out, and they'll have some other responsibilities. But he was very excited that it was a promotion. And yeah, there you go. Congratulations, Chris. Very excited for you, and a great job with your video. Now, cruise news story number 3, and we've been talking about this for the last year. Port Canaveral is kicking butt and taking names, and they just had their state of the port address, and they've announced that they've broken a record for cruise passengers this year. 6.8 million cruise passengers in Port Canaveral this year. 13 cruise ships home ported there. They had 906 ship calls. They made $191 million in revenue at Port Canaveral, 158 million of that attributed to the cruise industry. And on the heels of that, they're continuing to enhance the infrastructure there in Port Canaveral. They're allocating $78 million over the next few years for parking infrastructure enhancement for the cruise side. And while they're not stopping, they anticipate that they will do 7.3 million passengers in 2024. I feel like Port Canaveral is just antagonizing the Port of Miami now. How will the Port of Miami respond? Good sign for the cruise industry. It's good for the state of Florida. Yeah, congratulations, Port Canaveral. Now, we got to get into the story that's got a lot of Carnival cruisers upset because Carnival's actually ahead of schedule on something, which is wild. But before I do that, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything going on in cruising, if you'd like to be a part of the Loca fam, if you would like to be the last words I mumble before I drift off into slumber every night, well, subscribe. It could happen. Please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. And I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about it. I'm just like slowly drifting into slumber, and I'm going, Booger Picker 8578. Thank you so much for subscribing. That could happen. Thank you in advance. All right, here is the story. Are you familiar with the new marketing push from Carnival called Fun Italian Style? We talk about this marketing, fun Italian style, a bit of Italy, molto fun. And then I like down below it says a big fun, capiche? They could be trying to channel their inner Dean Martin. When you tell your friend bye 'cause you're heading to Guys, that's a fun ship. Yeah? No? I think it was a little over a year ago that Carnival announced that it would be transferring 2 cruise ships from their Costa Cruise brand, their Italian Costa Cruise brand, transferring them and transforming them into Carnival cruise ships that would reside in the Carnival fleet. Now, we've had one of those ships already transfer over, the Carnival Venezia, and we are hotly anticipating, some people are hotly anticipating, the transfer over of the Carnival Firenze. There are a lot of folks that are stoked for this inaugural cruise of the Carnival Firenze that is happening next year. Well, the word has come from on high through the mouth of brand ambassador John Heald that the ship's going to be ready early. And they're going to, instead of starting cruising on that ship in May, they're going to add a cruise in April. So the inaugural cruise that everybody thought they signed up for is now the second cruise. And while there's a lot of outrage by people that are on the now second cruise, which was the inaugural cruise, because they were like, hey, we booked this cruise so that we could be the first people on this old cruise ship that's now a Carnival cruise ship. And Carnival's like, well, it's no big deal. We're going to do the same thing on the second week as we do on the first week, but yay for us. We got the ship ready. We got a whole nother week out of it. Molto bella. And well, as you can imagine, that response from Carnival still not sitting well with the people that really wanted to be on the inaugural cruise of this cruise ship. And social media is ablaze with people that are disappointed about this change. The whole thing really does remind me of the whole golden egg Veruca Salt scene from Willy Wonka. Daddy, I want to be the first on the Firenze. Tell the man I want to be the first on the... Well, Hilda, she wants to be the first on the Firenze. It's not possible. Who says it's not possible? I want it and I want it now. Oompa loompa doopity door. A bunch of folks aren't on the inaugural no more. What do you get when you've made all your plans? Too soon? I don't know. I certainly can understand why people are upset. They thought they were going to be on the inaugural cruise, and now they either have to adjust their plans or just suck it up and sail on the second cruise. I'll kick it to you. Answer the question. Should Carnival be doing this, or is it not that big a deal at all? Leave a comment below. Thank you so much for checking out the show today. I hope you enjoyed it. You can show your support by hitting the like button. This is Tony for La Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye. Cruise News.